आप दिन रात पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, but you are not getting the desired results. I can completely understand your frustration, guys. So I'm going to share with you the tips which improved my marks, and using that tips my students have scored really well. So grab the pen and paper and get ready for it. Let's solve the first basic problem जो कि अक्सर हम सुनते आए हैं कि do not memorize, understand. मतलब कि रट्टा मत मारो, understand करो. But उसको करना कैसे है? There's a practical way to do it, which is called as SQ3R, which means survey, question, read, review and recall. So how you start with it? First thing, take your notes, just start reading. You don't have to start writing the notes. So if you skip this first step, what will happen is if you have 50 to 100 pages to read, you will end up reading the whole thing and you will never finish your notes. But if you just highlight the important topics, what happens is if you are making your notes, you precisely know the important topic and the important points, and you can finish the whole 50 to 100 pages. Now, second thing what you do is after highlighting and everything, chapter wise, if you make a proper pointers, you will not forget what you have read and you will be able to connect each topic with each other. Otherwise, what will happen is आप जो भी पढ़ रहे हो आप भूलते चले जाओगे. Like, you know, when you will move on to the second or third chapter, you will completely forget the link, or you will completely forget what you studied in the first chapter. In that way, you will understand the concept clearly and it will be easier for you to remember. And now when you are doing a revision of your notes, you understand, okay, what is the concept, what is the process, what is the implementation. So step by step, you will remember the whole procedure and your subject is done. Now, out of SQR, S is over. Moving on to the second step, which is Q, which is question. Now, what you do is, I usually do this practice in my class also. After finishing one module, I tell the whole class to come up with 10 to 20 questions. Each students will come up with that question. What happens in that case is you understand that from one concept or one module or one topic, how many questions can you expect? Now you will ask me how to frame question. See, framing question, you have to think like a teacher, that you are a teacher and you gonna ask the question to the class. So in that way, it will be easier. Like आप एक concept को रखो, उसी को why, what, how, explain, ये सारी चीजें add करके question format बना लो. And of course, if you have attended the classes, then you can ask your teacher that, you know, what kind of questions will come, and then you can just write it down and have the set of questions ready from each topic. Now, once your questions are ready, you move on to the next step, which is read. Read the question and try to find the answer. This way, what will happen is you can write the question, write the answer in pointer. Not compulsorily that you write the whole answer, but at least the pointer will surely help. And remember one thing, writing will help you to remember better. So once you read and after that try to recall. अब आप recall कैसे करोगे? Just go through the questions of each topic that you have made and try to recall. It is very important to question yourself, because being a human mind, what happens is if you are reading a question and you don't know the answer, you get curious. Oh God, I don't know the answer. I need to find the answer. And this practice will help you to remember each and every answer, because you will not move further unless and until you solve all the questions. Now moving on to the last R, which is review your material. Whatever pointers that you have written, questions you have written, just go through the topic. Keep your pointers with that topic, and if you are able to recall each and every concept, then you are thorough with your studies. Like you have understood the concept, not only like memorizing, but you have actually understood, and whenever somebody asks you about that concept, you literally know that. So this is how, using the technique of SQ3R, you can study better and can score really good grades in your exams. Now talking about passive studying, which is if you are just reading and sitting in front of the lectures and not interested, what will happen is you think that you know, but when you sit in your exam, what happens is you tend to forget things and you're like, oh shit, I don't remember anything. But when you are doing an active studying, the methods that I showed you, which means you're highlighting your notes, you're writing down, you're making the chart, you're making a diagram, that's what is called as active studying. And the best way to remember or understand any concept or subject is to teach others. अभी आपका हो गया है, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपकी पढ़ाई 100% हो गए, please go and help your friends. Now what will happen is आपका रिविजन हो जाएगा, आप अपने नोट्स को गो थ्रू करोगे एंड अक्सर आपने ये देखा होगा कि जब आप किसी और को समझाते हो तो आप बेहतर समझते हो.
Do you understand how important for a media person is to know the target audience? The target audience is someone who you know exactly you're making the content for. The age group, the demography, the culture, the background.
एंड येस डेफिनेटली इट हेल्प्स. आई गेस आपके साथ एक ना एक बार ये हुआ होगा कि आपको कोई सब्जेक्ट या कोई टॉपिक बहुत अच्छे से समझा है एंड देन यू गो एंड एक्सप्लेन इट टू योर फ्रेंड्स एंड ट्राई टू हेल्प योर फ्रेंड्स. इट विल हेल्प यू मोर देन योर फ्रेंड. सो यू कैन डू दैट एज वेल. And guys, I want to tell you about the most important thing, which is why are you studying? If you're studying just for the exam, तो क्या होगा, आपके internals के लिए आपने एक दो टॉपिक पढ़ लिया, then after that आपका सेम एग्जाम होगा, टर्म एग्जाम होंगे, उसके लिए कुछ टॉपिक पढ़ लिया, बट when you will go through a final exam आप सारी चीज़ें भूल जाओगे. So अगर आप सिर्फ एग्जाम के लिए पढ़ाई कर रहे हो तो ये मान के चलो कि आप भूल ही जाओगे, बट अगर आप समझ के आप अच्छी तरीके से पढ़ाई करोगे तो आप कभी नहीं भूलोगे. ये मेरे साथ भी हुआ है कि when I was interested in journalism, I still remember what I studied back in my college days because I understood the concept, and that's how I can teach now. So if you understand something well, any concept which is clear in your head, you will never forget. So make sure that whenever you are studying, study as if you are studying to gain knowledge, so the curiosity will be there rather than just studying for the exam. And that will definitely reflect in your results. So if you want to score well, you have to study, not just memorize. I hope guys the video was informative. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for a lot of such interesting videos on Media Mentor. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.